That's always good for a giggle. I'm telling you, man. Always good for a chuckle. Hey, welcome back, Midshore Tractor Pullers. Olin, Richard,
All
good to have
right.
you guys back, man. And we got quite a cast on here tonight. We're gonna touch base on some stuff coming up, I guess, and the White Pine event that just went down, and we got a flyer to share with you when Josh is talking for some upcoming stuff for them. And we hope AJ gets in here from the Money Bash event a couple of weeks ago, and that was one hell of a pull. So got a little chilly towards the evening, but it wasn't too bad. But Matt Stauffer got some wins, Hillbilly Chrome, and even Oliver I think got a win too, right? So
All right. And we might have Mr. Drawbridge stop by later on too. We're not
yeah,
sure yet.
Robert Drawbridge might be on here. I did send all the links out, so hopefully those guys are going to hear. I'm done talking. Take it away, Olin, and
All right. Richard's going to introduce all of our guests tonight. And
Where we lose Josh?
Josh Longmire, he'll be back. He's there.
He's here.
Okay. All right. So we have tonight Mr. Carl West, Mr. JJ Kinsey, Josh Longmire, and of course Hillbilly Chrome, and hopefully AJ and Robert get on a little bit later. But got a lot to talk about. We're going to talk about some great benefits and some donations that have happened to keep tractor pulling moving for some people, and we're going to talk about some pulls coming up and some pulls that went on recently when AJ gets on here. You want to go right to
right now we're going to well, we have a past subject we've been talking about is Mr. Noah White down in Tennessee. Had an injury, and the tractor pullers have gotten together and are working on building him a tractor. We got JJ Kinsey and Carl West to tell us what the latest status is. It's a John Deere, so we know they're going to run into problems along the way because it just takes a while to build a deer. That's all. All right, so guys, is JJ or Carl? Fill me in.
Well,
go ahead, JJ.
well, first of all, we it's just been a lot going on, and we are waiting on some parts. And but it is coming together. Once we, get the parts that we need, things will go right along. Right now, we're in need of a set of tires. We had some lined up, and it kind of fell through. We'd like to find a set of Firestone 16.938 top cuts. But anybody out there that has any options, please reach out to us and let us know.
And JJ, tell them why you want 16.938 top cuts. That most universal size for that area.
Well, yeah, just they seem to work good on the John Deeres. I guess it's just personal preference. But hey, some guys see it different, so we're open for suggestions.
Well, no, I mean some areas would be like if you're talking north, it'd be a 16.934, or some other areas it might not. It might be a 15.5. But in your area where the guy where Noah's at, that's a very popular size to do all different classes, correct?
Oh yes, most definitely.
That's why that tire is what you're looking for.
Yes.
Okay, and that makes sense.
They don't have to be cut either. We've got a donation from Dustin Hines. He said he'd make them top cuts for us, so they don't even have to be cut. We can handle that with no problem.
Okay, but definitely that size is what you're mainly looking for to be brought into the discussion.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, and has Noah been on a tractor lately? I seen him in White Pine. I spoke to him down there. Has he been on any other tractors?
Well, he pulled a couple times at White Pine.
Okay. That was good. I didn't get to see that. I did see him there, but I didn't know he actually pulled.
Yes.
Was it one of your tractors, JJ?
It was on Aiden Sapelnik's tractor.
Okay. So he had a good time doing that, and that was big excitement for him.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And so you just looking for tires, and you got a few engine parts together, then you start your assembly. You thinking?
Yes. Our plan is hopefully to have it done for the Lexington pool, but if not, we're definitely shooting for the end of March at the FFA pool in White Pine.
All right. Go back for those that are not familiar with what we're talking about, and tell them about the history and the beginning of this project. What was it all about? Please.
Yeah. Noah was he became a member of our club and started pulling, and he was in a accident and left him paralyzed. And Carl and Bobby Sloan, several of them got together and had suggested that we build a tractor for this gentleman. So we thought it was a great idea, and we had an A John Deere that my dad and I donated, and went from there. And it's been a lot of people, that have donated a lot of stuff. And like I say, we're just waiting on a few parts. It's not the end of the world. Everyone out there knows when they're building a tractor, it takes some time because it's a lot of people in need. So,
JJ, tell him how old Noah is, and tell him about his personality.
You don't get no better than that boy. He's I wished everyone had his outlook on life with what he was dealt. He loves tractor pulling, no doubt about it. He's 19, I believe. Just a go-getter. He's just just a great outlook. That's all I can about say.
His attitude, like you said, is just it's incredible.
Oh yeah.
It's just he's a super kid. I enjoyed talking about White Pine this year, and he's a super kid, and I'm proud to be part of this, trying to help him out.
He's very personable, isn't he, to talk to?
Oh, very.
Most definitely.
At least he didn't just lay down and quit. You know what I mean? He got up and just not going to let it bring himself down. That's great.
Right. And my intentions were to have him on tonight with me, but unfortunately I'm out of town. So, but hopefully the next one I can get him on so everybody can talk to him. So
be great.
Mm-hmm. And this is good tractor pulling stuff that we like to see happen in the tractor pulling community. And there's all sorts of little projects that groups do. We reach around the country and talk to them. You hear that they're doing something for somebody somewhere. And this is just one case in point that we know about while we're on our podcast, and that we have seen at the pulls. And so we want to talk about this one. But I've heard of others being done in other places for different reasons. There are small ones done. There was a fire up north. Estewan's had a fire. A bunch of there. There was Mr. Chrome. You can think of some others, I'm sure.
Well, yeah, I've seen, there's been some fundraisers for, people that there was a young gentleman earlier this year that was killed in an auto accident, Mr. Geiswhite. I know they did something memorial thing for him or fundraiser. And then, like you said, the SM had a barn fire last year. So things of that nature, but this is the only tractor project that I know. But while JJ's on, so Tammy Sloan sent out you're part of that Southwestern Antique Club, if that's the right term, and I see Noah won a couple of points championship. So whose tractor was he on? Was it one?
He was on my daughter and son-in-law's tractor, John Deere A.
Okay, so he got some good seat time this season, which I was glad to hear. Since it's a little delayed getting his tractor together, so I'm sure we all appreciate you putting him on there. And did you have to modify anything for him for that?
No, we it actually worked out pretty good at most of the pulls. We would back the tractor up to the gooseneck trailer, and we would get him up on the trailer, and it was easy to transfer him that way. But like I say, we're working on. He really liked the seat design that a man had at White Pine. And we're going to go with that and put like a boat swivel on it where we can lock it. And it'll work out great for him. So
Very
Very good.
interesting. Yeah, that's a good project. So Carl, JJ, you got any further thoughts you have before we move on to some more white pine stuff with Josh?
No, not that I can think of. Just please keep your eye out for a set of tires. We can sure use them. We've got rims already and stuff. So
Yep.
Timmy H donated us with some rims, and so we're just looking for the right tire to put on it. And probably Firestone would be best. They seem to work pretty much wherever you go, so that's why we're kind of thinking Firestones. And obviously, we ain't gonna be able to swap tires to go to different tracks like some people do. So the Firestone probably be the best for us right now.
Yeah,
I think that'd be a good pick.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, and this might have been where you were going on, Olan. That's kind of like an oddball size for us folks up north. We do big tires, small tire, and that size is too big for small tire, not big enough for big tire. So maybe somebody out there or hear about this and holler. So, which I know we're going to have our tire at some special podcast for tires, but that's along with what cut, but what size in the glasses is worth talking about at some point too. So we'll keep our eyes open. We'll spread the word.
But for his area, that's a very popular tire to go pulling with. And got a lot of classes that run with it.
Yeah.
If someone has some tires that are, if someone has some tires that are, we can get transported around. I'm going to Tunica and Oak Grove. I mean, there's some other pulls going on. We can get them. We get them moved around somehow or other. So even if you're far away from us, don't hesitate to get a hold of me or JJ, and we'll make arrangements. We'll get them moved.
That'd be very nice. All right. Thank you, Carl. Thank you, JJ, for taking time out to tell us and to keep things going on this project and keeping us in the loop. Also, while we're in White Pine, there was a nice pull down there. And we had the privilege of Mr. Drawbridge down there doing video work, which was amazing. And we have JR, which done video work at the Bash up in Sealands Grove, which was amazing. And for me, I just think Antique Tractor Pulling have been just up to notch, something amazing, greatly by these video jobs that these guys are doing. Can't say enough nice about them for doing this work and coming to our polls. It was just a period like 2 or 3 years ago. We didn't have that option. We did have some live feeds, but if you sat at home on your computer and tried to see it, even tractors you knew was hard to see on the live feeds. Now, well, you can just about tell somebody had slack tires or they weren't where they belong, or you can just about read the tachometers for them anymore. But not quite. But this video work we're getting done is really amazing, and it's kind of like I'm starting to feel like we're moving up on NATPA standards. So that was very nice in White Pine. We also have a poll coming up in the spring in White Pine with Josh Longmire. And Josh is proposing some pretty interesting stuff that might be changing Antique Tractor Pulling a little bit. And I'm going to let Josh fill you in. Josh, you there?
I'm here.
Let's go with it.
All right. Well, in March 27th and 28th this year, we tried to move a week to try to get off of the Harrisburg pool. But anyway, 2-day pull at White Pine. And in this will be our 5th year, I think, up there. And in the past 4 years, we have struggled to fill brackets. So this year, we're going to scrap the brackets altogether, kind of.
Josh, don't forget to tell them who the pool benefits.
The pool benefits, Jefferson County FFA alumni puts the pool on, and the proceeds from the pool is for us to redistribute to the kids in the FFA chapter of Jefferson County in any way they need it. So it's a fundraiser pool for us to be able to help the local chapter. So, and so we're not gonna pull brackets. We're gonna do classes on Friday. You can see the flyer here. And then we're gonna pull 2 team classes. One being random draw partner, and the other we're gonna do you can pick your partner. So, if Richard and Olan come down there and think they can team up and win it, they're welcome to. And then, if there's somebody else that wants to team up with either one of them
Like,
guys,
I want to go team up with JJ.
if you want to team up with JJ and you want to team up with Richard, you can do it as long as you play it, as long as the hook fees are paid.
All right, tell them where you got the concept from, so that it's not like a new thought. It was a concept that you borrowed from somewhere else.
Well, in all the rest of our classes, it's one tractor, one pool. And we got to talking. If you're going to let people pick their partner, well, then you can't really limit how many times a person can enter, because it wouldn't be fair to the next man if he wanted to pull with somebody that's done paired up. And in this, if any of you follow rodeo at all, there's a event in it called team roping, and in that event, your header or your healer, either one, it can be entered multiple times with multiple people, as long as they pay the entry fee. So that's where this all comes from. And so we're going to give that a try this year and see how it works out. Now your random draw team class, you're going to pull down to the top 4 teams, and then so 8 tractors, and then they will go into like a bracket style to decide 1 through 4 at the end. So I'll also say in those 2 classes, so we're going to pull them in pull order. So if you're team number 1 to sign up, you're going to pull first. But in those 2 classes, if you sign up, the first team will have the option to drop the pull, the hook. Now, Olin, if you and Richard are teamed up, you like your hook, but Richard don't. Richard can drop and you can keep. But you got to do it when you unhook from the sled.
All right, what is the tire restriction, the speed, and the weight?
Well, they're on that flyer right there. And
I can't read it.
Well, I just figured out how to zoom in on it. So the random draw will be 5,000 6-mile an hour, and they'll both be 18-4-38 classes. And then the pick your partner is going to be 52-50 6-mile an hour. The random draw will be $100 a tractor, and bring your own partner will be $200 per team, so $100 a tractor. They're going to be 60% payback. Friday, since we didn't do brackets and we're going to do pulling, we done a little higher percentage of payback on the classes.
All right. Your sleds this year are going to be?
They're going to be Justin Collier will be one of them. And then there's another sled down there towards McMinn County where he's at that's almost identical to his sled, and he'll be the other sled.
And the dirt in the spring generally acts different than the dirt in the fall, correct?
Generally, in our experience, yes, we have a different type of track in the spring. Most people you talk to, when they come in the spring, they're going to carry more nose weight. It's more of a power track, I guess you can say. I'll leave that up to you know, the
And
ones.
who's your track crew this year?
It'll be us. We're all in house. It's volunteers from the kids, the teachers, the alumni association. We do it all.
Have you contacted your video people?
We have not set up any video. We have some of the kids that are pretty good with that kind of stuff. We kind of try to do that ourselves too. Now, whether we'll get to do like the Facebook Live like they did down here the other week, I'm not sure. We got some details to work out on that.
And you still have the QR code program running?
Yes, sir.
And-
I think that the QR codes are here to stay. I think everybody likes them and enjoys them. Works pretty good. We haven't so far. So, I will mention you see a little bit different. Well, was going to be a little bit different start time, but we ended up Friday. We'll be starting at 10 o'clock.
Okay. All right. Now let's talk about Saturday. What you have planned?
Saturday will be just normal pulling, just like we've done in the past, starting at I can't remember if there's a 3,500 on there or not, or if we started at 4,000. And pull 4, 6, 8, and 12 mile an hour. And then we'll have each night we'll have what we call the night show. Friday night we're gonna run some open gear antiques. And then we'll have 4,300-pound mini trucks, some 6,200 light limiteds, 6,200 pro stock trucks. And then we throw some, stock gas trucks, stuff of that nature from the people that's in the parking lot. And we're going to try, I don't know if we can make it happen or not, but if you was there last year, on Saturday night, we had one 2-wheel drive blower truck there. We're going to try to see if we can get a class of them this year.
All right. That's good. And now most of our pullers probably right at the moment. So what would the antiques be running at night? Let's go back and revisit that.
On Friday night, we're gonna have a top cut open gear and a full cut open gear class.
What would be the weight like that would be? What would that be?
Top cuts 4,500, 5,500 on full cuts. Then Saturday night there'll be we're gonna do the pot of blue and gold class like we done last year. For where we done, it's 75% payback, and that's to be split between the winner and the FFA chapter of his choice. Zach Agee took it home last year. 5250, 6.5 mile an hour. And then we'll have the trucks and everything else again Saturday night also.
You guys are muted, Olan.
All right, we got Miss Sarah just come in here, joined in with us. And we changed
we'd like to see
displays.
anybody and everybody that want to come pull this, and have you there, and we'll try to put on the best show we can for you and have fun. That's the main thing. We like to have a good time. Help support.
You gonna be working on hotels?
Yeah. Hello?
You're gonna be working on getting hotel. Yeah, you're gonna be working on getting hotels straightened out, options.
Can you hear me?
Uh-oh.
I can hear you. Whatever. We're not muted. Okay, have you heard, have you got anything worked out with hotels coming up or not?
He must have lost audio. Josh, can you hear me?
Yeah,
All right.
I can hear you now.
All right. His question was, have you worked out anything with any local hotels?
I have not spoke to them yet, but just about a mile from the venue there is 2 or 3 motels, and I generally go over there and talk to them and they'll usually give us a rate, and I will do that before the pool.
Okay, that'd be
All right,
helpful.
All right, I got a question while I got your ear. I thought I heard you say that you were trying to move away from the Mid-Atlantic date.
Yes, sir. See, we're actually this year we're actually a week later than we have been every other year we've been there.
Well, guess what? So are they.
I know it, and I just
So
found
did
that
they.
out yesterday.
Yeah, I was just looking at their flyer. I'm like, because I had heard it was going to be 2 separate weekends, and then I'm looking at your flyer and theirs, and it's the same day. So
Yeah, and we specifically was like probably a month and a half trying to figure out which way we could move with the place that we do ours at to try to make that happen, and then here we are, both on the same week again.
yeah, okay.
Do you think that has to do with the Easter holiday during that month, Matt?
Easter's actually like the first weekend in April, I think. So I don't. I know next year it's an issue. I heard, but not this year.
How about that?
I think it
Anyway.
falls in March next year, but not this year or this coming year.
Yeah.
So guys, this sounds like an interesting poll. You got some formula changes coming up on brackets and stuff. See how it works. You got some opportunity at nighttime, and I'm sure if you have additional time, you'll fit other classes in if you get a chance. I'm sure. We'll see how all that works out. Hello, we got Robert there. Robert, you there?
Hello.
Hey, good to have you join in with us. Everybody know Robert? Robert Drawbridge?
Unfortunately, but yeah, no, I'm kidding.
Okay. Depends on
I
who
think
you
something's
ask.
happened to Olan.
Robert and JR are the ones that do all the video work for us in antique pulling that we get to see on Facebook a lot of times. And EE Pulling has one. And Robert, we're going to come back and talk about how to get on yours also. I just want to introduce why since you're on there. And Josh, I don't know if you get to have Robert come down or Robert goes to Harrisburg. I don't know. We'll find all that out in the future. But it's good to have you come on and talk to us and about what you got going on for the alumni and the FFA. So that'll be a good event. We also have Lexington coming up, and we'll have a guest coming on there on one of our other podcasts. And what was the date in Lexington?
It's the first weekend, right?
First
Of February.
February 5th and 7th, wasn't it? 5th and 7th? Something like that. Lexington. Beginning.
Yeah, 5th through the 7th.
Okay. You got that coming up. You got Tunica coming up right after Thanksgiving. That weekend. You got Oak Grove coming up. I'm not sure what the Oak Grove date is. Coming up to.
I think it's 2 weeks after Lexington, which would be the week before, Harrisburg. Oh no, that's February. Yeah, so it'll be 2 weeks after Lexington. I think is Oak Grove.
And then I think some of them run from Oak Grove up for a half a day and run Princeton. Am I right?
That's usually the case.
Yeah. And then you said Wasion is coming up. Kev's Field of Dream. Kev's been on here. He's Thanksgiving weekend. He's got a 2-day pull on Thursday. Thanksgiving. What day is Thanksgiving on?
Thursday.
Oh, no, he's not on Thursday. I think it's Friday, Saturday, I think. Kev's got one, a 2-day pull. So there's polls going on. New Jersey had one last weekend. South Jersey did. Did anybody go? Matt, did you go or anything? You hear anything?
I didn't hear anything about it. I was out of town.
Okay. But anyway, they generally throw a good poll. I'm not sure if that's the last poll for the year or not. Any more up north going on this time of year?
No, but I was just searching here. I'm pretty sure I saw the Southern Maryland pullers are doing one Saturday.
How about that? Good for them.
But Saturday or Sunday, I can't find it. But you and I have both pulled there. I'm sure Richard has, and I don't know about Sarah, but
Hey, Sarah.
no, I don't know if Sarah's pulled. I know that Sarah
She has. She's been there.
So it's been last time I was there, I bumped into you and I left a weight that scale and
Also
go
got
back.
kicked out of there. But
Well, that was a disagreement on some subjects. Yep.
Yeah. So anyway,
Hopefully we'll work that in the future.
they have a pull this weekend. I just can't remember which day.
I did talk to Mikey Hitchens. He says they're getting ready to try to meet on points for PA for the upcoming year, and there is talk of a big tire class possibly running on separate days than the small tire for points. So when they meet, I'm sure he'll let us know what the outcome is or direction they're headed in. But they got a lot of things they got to work out, locations, dates, and there's a lot that'll be worked out. There's a lot going on in Pennsylvania in the pulling season, and there's just a lot going on. So we'll see how all that works out, which is good. So I want to take a jump off here, and I want to say hi to Robert. Robert, you want to tell us a little bit about what you do, Robert? You was in White Pine with us. You did a really good job down there. You even had that big screen running that we was looking at, which wasn't there before in past years. Your videos are very nice. So what do you have to say? Tell us about your adventure.
I don't have much to say. I mean, I just, if it's possible to go, I like to go and just document the show and do the best I can. Make sure that it's a pleasure to watch and people enjoy watching it at home. It's not too boring and do some replays and stuff like that,
All right.
So my next one, I know that everybody was in the up in arms and everybody's happy and then, that I'm still waiting on folks from Oak Grove. They said they're going to be reaching out for that. As far as it's going there, they're all up for it, but I haven't heard anything yet. The other one I got is the antique one. I'm going to Bossy in Ohio Thanksgiving weekend, so
Okay.
I reached out to them and they said that's fine, come on up, and so pretty much that's all I got planned right now is antiques, and other than Lexington with JR down there. So,
JR, you're going to Lexington too, aren't you?
You bet. Yep.
What other ones do you have in the antique part do you have planned? I know you have a lot going on at home.
But I have a banquet Saturday, so I won't be able
Okay.
to. Other than that, I don't know of any other. So.
All right. While we're talking about planning for this upcoming year, what can groups do to make your job easier when you show up? What should they be preparing to a list of drivers, just the classes? Let's talk about that a little bit. What do groups need to know when they ask you what that you need other than places to plug electric in and Starlinks to set up at and whatever? Just tell us a little bit what groups need to be thinking about to accommodate you.
For editing, the easiest thing that is the big help, and I'm sure Robert will agree, is puller lineups. I know a lot's going on when you got many hooks going on. Money Bash this year they had a lady bringing lineup sheets over to me, and thankfully the PA system where I was parked was loud enough I could hear the distances. And when it comes time to come home and edit that many hooks from an event, and you got the pullers' names and the distances, it makes life a lot easier when you're editing for YouTube and stuff. So that's the main thing. Electric, I have my own power, and Robert does too. We got our own battery packs that we take. I have multiple, but electric's always welcome. But mainly, in my experience, is the puller lineups, and if you can hear the distance or hear the announcer really good, that's great. Or at least you can be able to go and double check the results at the announcer's tower or whatever. You can take pictures of it or whatever. But those lineups are big when you don't know half the pullers when they're pulling.
Now, Robert had to deal with changing sides and sleds at the end of the pull when they're doing the end of the pull, and then tractors getting crossed up, not being where they're supposed to be because they was on one side and had to go back and forth. That had to be a logistics problem too, Robert, was it?
Well, yeah. So it is, but so down at the White Pine. So luckily, I mean, I couldn't. I was trying to catch the speedboard and the distance boards, which one of my favorite things to do is like Richard mentioned. I don't know the people, so when it comes down to editing on the end, you know, when you get a list, either distance is already captured on video, but so when they're jumping over there, and then once you get the paperwork, then you can see who's who. Um, it's they jumping across, and then my biggest thing is when guys and guys just decide that they jump on each other's tractor, right? So. Well, for example, I'm like, oh, hey, say John's coming up, and I'm like, no, that's not John, that's Sarah, and I'm like,
Yeah.
what's her
They
name?
don't always have the same driver, correct? Yeah.
Yeah, so that's kind of quite a few times that was a shocker to me. I'm like, okay, well, they jumped the line, really jumped.
Yeah.
So,
and it's nice to have a contact from that event, just somebody after the fact that you knew you can send an instant message to, or a phone call, or a text, or something, just to ask a question. Hey, do you remember this person? Well, there was a lady driving, so I know it wasn't Richard McIntyre. Who was the female on the track? Because it helps to get the name right. When the person that was let's say Sarah was driving, and it's on Olan Simpkins' tractor, but the driver's list says Olan Simpkins, but well, that's not Olan. Olan's not a female. You know what I mean? So, and she's watching. She's like, well, that was me driving. Why ain't my name on there? So, I mean, most people don't care, but some do. That's
you guys are trying very hard to be
after the fact contact. Yeah.
You guys are trying very hard to be correct, and so it's very important to you guys to get it correct. I know you're trying.
Yes.
So,
I mean, we look alike, but I think I'm a little better than him.
There you go. You heard it.
Judy, spot on. Feed the videographers. Yes, they did a hell of a job down at Chatham this past February, March feeding us. That was awesome. We really appreciate that. Because we don't have time to go get something to eat. We just don't have time.
Yeah, she took care of me at White Pine.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really appreciated, believe me.
And that is so the guys who put the venue on, that's one so at White Pine, the PA system worked out pretty good, and I was able to capture that. Richard knows that. I love to capture the announcers.
The whole conversation going to Chatham this year, because Robert, I mean, he's not a rookie by no means, but he was basically just starting to really get these multiple camera stuff going on with his yellow box and all this other stuff. And it's a great setup. I went and learned a lot of stuff watching all his hookups and stuff. And one day I may try to get to do that. We'll see. But I know he was really concerned about how about this camera does this camera does that. And he was running all over the arena down there setting up camera, and it worked. It's fantastic.
Well, I was minding my own business. Somebody walked past me with this little tiny blower. Had to go blow his lenses off because the dust is so much of a problem. So we're just dealing with a little bit of dust, but they're dealing with camera lenses and dust. Yep. They got a lot of stuff going on. We don't even see paint watching the pull. There you go.
That and compressed air is your best friend.
Yeah. So and then they want to put this stuff. So nobody bumps it. So they got a lot going on, and they're kind of unsung heroes in my world at a tractor pull. Like announcers, it can be unsung heroes. Flagmen can be unsung heroes. The guy hooks his sled is an unsung hero. I did hear there was a little bit of not correct use of the light. We have no flagmen. I did hear one or two tractors left on a red light. Pay attention to the lights. I talked with the sled inspector. He said, yeah, he said that stuff is really critical. So guys, always watch the flagman. If you don't have an end flagman, watch the light. The sled guy is seeing something different than you are. He might be seeing the hook guy is not sitting in a safe position, whatever. Watch them lights. Make sure your signboard is zeroed out so you don't have to do a rehook and a restart and send the sled and scraping the rollers to a whole new cycle of events. And they actually timed so one would go, then the other would go for the most time. Occasionally they run two at the same time, which was challenging because I know guys that said one sled, they'd be going down the track and the other horn was so loud they thought it was their horn. It was the other horn going off. So there's a lot going on at a track. So always be careful, safe. Like I say, the safety inspector, sled guy, he wants to come on and talk about this, what's coming up in the future. He'll be on another podcast. But these guys here are like really unsung heroes to the tractor pulling world. They have given us notoriety. They have showed that we're just a little bit more than just putzing down the track. Yes, we have tractors that do go down the track slow. They pay the hook fee too. It's all part of the event. You have tractors go down the track pretty fast. There's a lot of things going on during a pull. But I can't say enough thank yous to these guys for making these videos, and they're long, they're references. You can go back and see them. You can't do it all when you're there pulling. Having their videos to go back and look at is a real trophy in itself. Thank you. So that's how I feel. So any of the guys running polls, find out what these guys need. Make sure they got it. Judy, thank you for getting them food. That was very thoughtful of you. I did see you walking down or play the grapes one time. Maybe that's where you was headed to. I don't know. But anyway, that's good, Josh. I don't whoever you go with, whatever you decide to do, work with that. The QR codes, that would help Robert a lot if he had them to go by. I'm sure. Robert, I don't know if you know what we're talking about at this time. What Josh has going on.
I know there were QR codes was at the White Pine, but I haven't got a hold of that one. But last weekends I did the garden tractors in what they had two TVs, and right off our laptop they were displaying it on TVs, the lineup, and they were typing the distances in live. And of course I got smart and I put a camera on it, and after each pull or before the pull I just switched to the screen and you can see the lineup coming up, who's coming up. And then when a pull was done, I switched back to it and you can see it live being typed in. But of course, I already captured the speed and distance on another camera while the tractor was running. So that was kind of something like similar to Lexington had up in pattern what they had up on a boards, the lineups. So anything like that. So they're kind of doing that. So when I go back to Illinois in about 4 weeks for that pull again, I think we're going to be using that same system. But that's pretty much simple. They had an Excel sheet, and then, like I said, they projected it onto a TVs.
And you're going to Wasion, Ohio as well?
Yes, that's the game plan right now.
All right. And Matt, you've been quiet. Let's have a little Chrome perspective come on here. You got your jacket and everything.
Right. Yeah, I wanted to say something about the videos, kind of echoed some of the thoughts that you had. I mean, JR, I've known him a lot longer than Rob, and I think he's done a lot to help promote the sport, make us look more professional. Like you said, you can go back and look at the videos. I've done it, and I told JR this several years ago when he videoed, I think for the first time, me anyway, down Tuckahoe. It's like, wow, I went and looked at the video, and I had an exhaust leak I didn't know I had, and his video showed that. But you can go back and look. So, you know, when it came to White Pine, I wasn't there, and, you know, Facebook started lighting up as soon as we knew the pool started. And says, anybody have a live feed? And then I didn't see a link anywhere. And then somebody mentioned this guy, Robert Drawbridge. And the first thought I had was, I read Drawbridge in the message, but I'm thinking Towbridge. I'm like, how's that guy from Michigan pulling and taking videos? But turned out to be this Rob. And, you know, I found the link, watched it when I could, both tracks. Sometimes you had a 4-window view, just phenomenal work. And you could hear, the announcers telling the distance. And then of course, you know, we already said JR did the Bash for Cash. So a couple questions. One is, Mr. Drawbridge, do you do a class video like JR does? Like, I would love to go back and watch the St. Jude's class. I missed it. I mean, I know our good friend DJ Paul Hamus won it, but I didn't see his hook, and I maybe saw a couple hooks. Do you do those class videos and put those out?
So if I'm so some events, if it's a single track, then it's easy for me to do that. And I can go back and break them up into classes, which I'm doing right now for the last week in garden tractors. But being on videoing with multiple cameras and switching in between and switching between both tracks and recording both tracks and one after the other, it's kind of hard to go back and for me to separate who's who and which class is which.
Right. Okay.
I don't know. Because it was a live stream, so it's continuous.
Right. And then the other thought I had, and I'm throwing this out as a challenge to you two guys, at Lexington, Lexington is the new Chatham, and they always have the Google Sheets, and maybe that's what Olan is referring to as a QR code. But if there was a way to have the video going and showing that sheet at the same time, that would be kind of like the next level, and that'd be phenomenal, because then you won't have to remember, well, that looked like a pretty good hook. I wonder how it stacks up against everybody else. And if you had live results in that Google Sheet, and maybe that would be up to the club to post a link to that, and you could have 2 windows open on your laptop or whatever, trying to follow along. I just think that'd be pretty interesting.
So last weekend, that's what I mentioned. That's what the garden tractor guys did. They had that Excel sheet. They had that on a TV, on 2 TVs in both ends of the hall.
Yeah, well, they can have their own podcast. We don't really care about those guys.
No, I know, but I'm just saying that their Excel sheet was live, and I captured that. And then anytime they updated this code in the line with each puller, because they were in order, on the top right-hand corner, had already put them in number 1, number 2, number 3, and he switched them every single time if that position changed. So that was kind of the live.
Right. No, I just think that
I do the actual pull distance of that particular puller, but also up there when the next tractor is hooking, I always have the actual leader of the class up there as well.
You do that when you do your class
leader
video. Yeah, but do you do that when you're doing live?
I don't do live yet.
See, we actually have two distinct worlds going on here. We have one that's recording and one going live. So they you're getting different. Mixing apples and oranges.
Gotcha.
So, but both of them are very is a big privilege for us to have either way. And Mr. Drawbridge there, when a sheet is provided, he can run a camera on the sheet. That's as good as she's going to be able to do doing live. JR goes back and edits this and puts in the top corner leader's name, leader's distance. So as you're watching it, then at the end he runs this. He does the total names of the class and does the pulling order, so you know at the end if you was 1st or 10th, or if you was St. Jude's 49th. I mean, it would have been. But so they're both getting it done. And you got to remember what the format there are. Each of them is only one person. So I don't know how much more they can do.
It's hard to get
But
help. It really is.
yes, it's hard to get help.
I can get for the Atlantic stuff because Mike is like dedicated to Atlantic, pro pulling with with the regular series I run, but I can't get him to go to an antique pull. I
How
just
many
can get
cameras did you have out, Robert?
I was running 5 cameras.
Yeah.
A
Yeah.
long time.
So, and then you also had running the big screen at the top. I don't know who was running it. Was you running the big screen in the
Now,
ring?
So the program that was going out live from my box, from my tablet, that was another HDMI out that tied into their machine. So whatever went out live, it showed on a jumbo.
Yeah, that jumbo was big. It was like the size of a sheet of plywood. It was big.
Well, it's bigger than that.
So
it was a 10 by 16 or something.
it's big. It was big. So with they're actually different formats, so you gotta kind of watch it, what they can do in a limited buy, but at the same time, if you understand what they're doing and the purpose, well, you can find a little bit of it. And yes, there is room for change, and I think it's coming. Like I say, how long have we been doing this, JR? First one was you going to Chatham, Tuckahoe, right?
Yeah, a couple. Well, it's been what 4 or 5 years now, I guess.
Yeah, but it's still new to tractor pull antiques.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
it's still new to antiques, not the big smokers. It's new to antiques. And Rob, he's not even got a full year on his belt yet, hardly, have you?
It's about a total of 18 months in it.
Yeah, see. So we're still in the infancy stage. I can't wait to see what's coming next and what is envisioned and what happens to antique pulling. Hey, you never know when Bob will end up a reality show before it's all over.
I got your first candidate right behind you for that.
There's a candidate behind me. There's enough stuff going on at the poll with individuals that we can have. It could almost happen. So you don't know what's coming next. Be happy in it that we're getting some recognition. Years ago, who went to see an antique show? Antique pool, right? They would go see a steam engine pull at nighttime, but during daytime, how many went to the antique pools? Now you can go back and see your pull, and I think the antique pullers themselves is their biggest audience at a follow-up date, which, and JR, you get to see some of the numbers, but you can't tell how many's watching.
Even right now, because
you
of
can't
Facebook.
tell. So, and Robert, I don't know how many you watched you. I know you sent me a friend request and I tried to respond back. You had 5,000 friends. They said you had too many friends to give you another one.
Yep.
So how big is the audience, guys? I don't know. How far does it reach? I don't know. Just do the next right thing. Put a good show on. Do code commentary. Keep it safe. Keep it between the lines, and let's go pulling and enjoy ourselves. All right.
And go to the scales.
Go to the scale.
Go to the scales,
remember, not all pulls play the same scale format, right, Matt? Some is after you hook, some is before you hook. So,
well,
and some are random.
At the money bash, when you hear, "Hey, Matt, go to the scales," you just took the lead. So that's the words you want to hear.
He only did to me.
AJ's telling you to go to the scales. You just took first place.
Yeah.
And that was an awesome pull. I'm sorry, I cut beans that day, but I cut beans. But it was a great pull. I knew it was going to be a good pull. They have the money bashes have always been very good pulls. Josh has run good pulls down there. Been down to his pulls. The other pulls coming up. I hope Lexington works well. Concerned about the date, but the attitude and the positiveness, what I've seen on their podcast, weather goes good, they're gonna have one awesome pull. So let's hope it goes good for them. Because they're trying. And anytime a group's trying, you should always be supportive. And we're gonna have them back to talk to us at a later date. Anything else you got tonight, Richard? Or check with all the audience for us. Anybody there have anything else? Sarah? No? Matt, you got any more Chrome review?
Oh, yeah. We got to have some 5 minutes of bling here.
Well,
Well, whatever.
the only other thing I was going to mention, and I got corrected after last time we had a podcast. I said something about a couple 11-year-olds in Pennsylvania beating me this year. Well, it turns out they're only 10. But then on the other end of the scale, I compete against some 80-year-olds, and they can beat me too. So I think, I mean, and male and female. It's just, I think it's a growing sport. There are a number of guys out there that are working on new builds. Seems like some turn around, they're buying a new tractor or again, building a new one. People of all ages, either getting involved or still involved. So I see it as growing. AJ's not on to talk about his bash, but like you said, it was a good event. And I know I bring this up every time I get a chance. They had just as many classes, at least at 3.5 mile an hour, for the non-cut guys as they did the cut guys, and some of those classes were bigger than the cut tractor. So that's kind of like the starter, kind of like the grooming field for people that want to move up, either in tire, cut tire, or go faster or whatever. So that was good that they do that. And, they had a rain out earlier in the year and took that sponsorship money and put some jackpot classes in. So that brought in some people, and again, it helps move the sport in the right direction. So I
always say, Matt, take care of what's in your sandbox in your area. If you got tractors that will go pulling, don't class them, kick their classes out and send them away. Take care of them tractors. They are very much a part of what keeps you alive. And in that case, the uncut tire tractors are still there. Let them pull. Find a way to make it happen. Don't just like, hey, I've moved up, forget them. No, they're important too. They're 20. They're whatever the hook fee is. There is just as important as yours.
It goes both ways.
Yeah. So take care of the tractors both ways. Moving up and down. It takes all of us to have a pull and to have help and survive.
I would agree.
Another misconception that I've heard. Why do I want to go watch a bunch of old rusty tractors go up the track? And I'm like, I say, you don't understand. I said, not every tractor there is an old rusty piece of whatever. Okay. There's some guys that take tremendous pride in what their vehicles look like, restoration, et cetera. So I said, they're not all like that. And I said, even the ones that are like that, I can almost guarantee they're going to be in the top 1, 2, or 3 spots. So don't ever think that.
I was in White Pine. I can't tell you how many tractors pulled into the arena and they got out with their lint cloths and went to knocking the dust off them tractors.
Yep.
It was just too much for them to stay in that arena dust.
Yep.
They're very serious polishers. There's some boys there that have mirror finished weight brackets and hanging weights on. Got to give them credit.
Then you got the guys that have the patina on there.
Yeah, then there's the patina.
Yeah.
Then there's the ones that don't want you to know what's underneath the hood. And that tractor hadn't seen paint since the day it was made.
They just cover it with Hillbilly Chrome, right?
I'll tell you what, yeah. Or they paint them chrome. You just don't know. You got to watch them guys with the chrome hoods.
You can't really see what's there, right?
Well,
Yeah,
I noticed the side shields. The side shields on the Oliver got some Hillbilly Chrome on them. Have you decided to call that one Alter Ego or?
No, it's Pappy's Pride because my
Pappy's
grandfather had 77.
Yeah, I knew it was Pappy's Pride, but I just okay.
Yeah, and I'm getting new side. Well, I have side shields. I just got to get the art on them. So by next year, you'll see it.
That was a smart ass comment.
Yeah. Coming from you, I don't expect anything less.
And maybe we need to do some little walk around interviews. Why that tractor looks like that? Matt has 2 of his grandfather. Okay, I seen Mr. Drawbridge there in the pits did some walk around interviews. Okay, I've seen JR do walk around interviews. You never know what them walk around interviews become. Maybe we need to do a little bit of that before the poll to entice people. What's going on? I seen Josh. They had TV reporters down there walking around and stuff at White Pine. We played in that with Josh. All that stuff is good for us. So maybe that's what we have to be considering more and more So people just don't look at it as this the old rusty tractor.
You-
They say, no, that old rusty tractor was his grandfather bought new in 1942. The man made his living and had 8 kids in his family and survived with that one tractor. That's why that tractor's out there being cared for.
I can
They
put a
love it.
GoPro. I'm sorry. I can put a GoPro in the face of any antique puller, and they're going to talk to you. You come up into the bigger leagues. Well, yeah, well, you got to cut him off. Yeah, but
Yeah, so,
it's easier to get you antique pullers to do a live interview like that. It's
so
not
maybe
live,
maybe that's another direction we got to go into to get our sport a little recognition. I don't know. It's something that I'm gonna let Mr. Chrome vision on for the next podcast. How about that, Matt?
Sure.
Richard, you gonna vision on it too?
What's
Now,
that?
Richard said he's not gonna do no visioning. He's not gonna think on it.
Mr. Crane's looking a little golden in that light right now. So
Oh, don't worry about it. It's the lunar look. It's the nighttime lunar look, not the daytime blend.
Olan, I do have the ability to transmit a pit reporter, but I just haven't found a volunteer that wants to be a pit reporter because I could transmit them live.
That would be
you could
interesting
go with a
too.
cell phone.
So
You go live with a cell phone.
So
need a
we get-
volunteer for that.
that could be just as much fun as anything. So let's just see where that goes. Along with the tire discussions, the safety discussions, the drawbar discussions, the wheelie bar discussions, and speed discussions, and all that other stuff. We just can just throw that right into the discussion package. All right. So, but anyway, times are getting by on us, and we're about to end of our show time. And I want to thank everybody that's been on, the ones that's not on right now. JJ, Carl, Josh, Robert, JR, Sarah, and Richard. Thank you all and our listening audience for tuning in. We're going to try to run regular till the winter and see what else we can bring live to you to talk about.
4 weeks would be December 11th.
that's my birthday.
What's that?
That's my birthday.
We have a birthday show.
But
You do it when you want to. I'm just saying that. 4th, 11th. Well, 4th would we could do the 18th. That would be the week after.
Sarah said the 18th.
Okay, perfect.
All
All
right.
right, perfect.
Be our next podcast, guys. All right.
Sounds good.
All right. Thank
Good.
you, everybody. JR, you know what to do.
Absolutely. Thank you. They're back once a month. If I can keep them in line and everything, we'll be here every month, at least once a month. So
Thank you, guys.
thanks for being here. We appreciate everybody being here, and we'll see you December 18th.